I lied when I said I was going to work on networking this time. Because there was a feature that I wanted to implement before I could work on networking, and that is I wanted to implement menus. So the entire point of going with Godot as the engine for a text engine is to be able to do things that I couldn't do in the terminal, because not only was trying to write terminal programs in other languages a giant pain in the ass, it would have just left it completely limited to text-based stuff. But here I can actually make graphical menus pretty easy. And one of the things that I wanted to use a menu for is dialogue. So you can have Fallout style dialogue, or like a typical RPG dialogue where you can have uh, branching branching dialogue. You don't have to, because if you were just limited to text based, you could do something like topic based, where you would like say hello to dummy or something like that, and obviously you'd parse this correctly, but um so you'd have to manage the state of, okay, so you say hello to this person, so this NPC is now in a talking mode with you, right? To be able to keep track of where it is in the conversation, but that state can change depending on whether it is attacked or the player moves, or this thing would have to know if I'm talking to a player, I shouldn't just walk off out of the room into some other place. Um, so that would just be it would be just as much work to implement a text-based system like that instead of just having a menu. But okay, so here's how multiplayer works. Will work rather. Let's see. Get this going. It's basically a dumb terminal. Actually, I can better illustrate this in the code. Let me pull that up. But you see how I have these function calls to announce local? That updates this text box here. And I plan on having announce room, which is every player in the room, and announce global, which is everywhere, no matter where you are. But that will basically just send the text that will update the text box to like a remotely connected user. And this parse program, it doesn't matter if it's from the local player or if it's from a remote player. So the way that this works is exactly like a dumb terminal, where a remote player will send the input. It's like this is the server and this is the client, and the client will send an command that it wants to run, and this will send the response back, which is just the text to display on the screen. So there's no state to have to sync anywhere with just this text-based approach. But if you want to add menus, now you have to well, you still don't have, okay, you have a small amount of state because it has to know if it should be displaying a menu or not. So it knows to not capture and send any input in the input box down here. So it can only be in one state at a time. The server will tell the client, open this menu, And here is all of the information you have to fill it in with. And basically the client will be in this menu, and you select whatever option or close it, and it will send the signal back whichever thing you chose, or if you close the menu. So, that basically requires a state machine on the server side, and I kind of already started to do this with the current target, which is just a way to tell if the player is in combat or not. But the point of being in this state or not is you differentiate between what commands you can and can't run. So we would basically just be adding another state. So total we would have 3 states. It would be, you'd have just the regular command, you'd have just the regular command state, which is just the player inputting commands and having it being parsed and run as normal. You'd have the in menu command, which is the one where you displaying menu, can't do anything else until you get out of the menu, and the in combat state, and which determines which how fast you can do things, and some things you just can't do because like taking your armor off in combat, it's just like, no, you don't have time to do that. All right, I think that's it for now.